He's desperate. I mean, they are calling on Caitlyn Clark to save the NBA All-Star Weekend.
Do you recall the days when watching the NBA All-Star Game was a must? Yes, those days are long gone. And Adam Silver is frantically trying to find reasons as his ratings are falling more quickly than a poorly executed alley. But hold on, may this sinking ship be saved by a college phenom? Now that everyone is talking about Caitlyn Clark, the NBA wants a piece of the take action. According to my sources, Curry and UNESCO are still debating whether to reinstate that shootout. Plans are underway for that, and Klay Thompson and Caitlyn Clark may also participate in the competition this year. Wow, I mean, if those sharpshooters square off, that would be a must-watch TV show. To get to your point, shams they'll also. But is it really possible for one player to change the entire situation? Let's go back in time a little. The NBA has had a difficult time retaining its audience in recent seasons due to dwindling ratings and mounting worries about fan interaction. Finals Game 1 was 45% less than the previous year. It was down 53% in Game 2. It was down 56% in Game 3, 42.71% in the fourth game, 51% in Game 5. Additionally, they were down 51% in the final game where the championship was won. When even the players appear utterly bored, you know something is really amiss. For you, that's the current NBA All-Star Game. What became of the thrill, the rivalry, and the must-watch television that we all cleared our calendars for? The NBA All-Star Game is a farce, really. However, it sounds awful, this tournament repair. The description sounds like a total nightmare. Let's dissect this. Do you recall Jordan's matchup with Magic? They were legendary matches. Superstars were competing as if their lives depended on it, giving it their all. The entire globe watched to see who would win. It featured the best that the NBA had to offer and was basketball at its best. You know, both nights were important when I was growing up. Were significant occasions, but they did participate in competitive all-star games in the past. However, it now resembles a glorified practice session with ostentatious clothes. It was basically a group of guys showboating in turn with little intensity or defense. With no effort on the other end of the court, you have players making half-court shots like they're at a carnival game and making alley-oops all over the place. Basketball isn't the same without the passion and spirit that initially drew us to the sport. No ego, no spirit of competition, nothing. When the world's best players arrived, they essentially gave you flag basketball. Up until recently, I had never heard of flag basketball. At least we have the slam dunk contest. Isn't that what you're thinking? Rethink your thought. How recently have you witnessed a true superstar participate in the dunk contest? That's right. Now it's all rookies and bench players. The well-known names, they are too preoccupied with resting for the second half of the season or safeguarding their brands. Do you recall the time Vince Carter's dunks left everybody speechless? Those times have long since passed. Ignore it. You can't view the remainder of it. Additionally, none of the real NBA stars participate in the slam dunk contest anymore, unlike in the 1980s and the early to mid-1990s. And the slam dunk contest would give birth to these big names. Skywalker Kenny, that was a big deal. I mean, no one wants to get into it now, though. This is when things start to get interesting. The ratings, oh boy, they're more than just awful. They're disastrous. Are you curious about how awful things have gotten? Only 5.5 million people watched the All-Star Game last year. That's all. Some regular season games are drawing higher attendance. To put that into context, take a moment to process the information. Even a random Tuesday night game in January can't beat the league's showcase event, which brings together all of its best players. That was the All-Star Game score from the previous year. What a horrible thing that is. There were 5.5 million people that watched the real All-Star Game. Adam Silver is perspiring profusely. Can you hold him responsible? In front of him, he is witnessing the NBA's crown gem deteriorate. This isn't a passing incident. It's a serious crisis. In the past, the NBA used the All-Star Game as an opportunity to showcase itself and provide spectators with a unique spectacle. It's become a punchline now. Unbelievably, I can recall a time when the All-Star Games featured defense. Naturally, I also recall it during the Pro Bowl. We don't even have a Pro Bowl now, though, and by the end, the guys weren't even tackling. I'd rather not hear about a skills competition. Brother observes the drying of paint. Silver is aware that he must address this issue quickly. The league cannot afford for its main event to lose its significance. Here's the big question, though. How can something that has grown so stale be given new life? How can an exhibition game pique participants' interest? And above all, how can you entice viewers to return? It's a problem with no simple answer. However, one thing is certain. What the NBA has been doing is not sustainable. There must be a change, or perhaps the All-Star Game will simply fade into obscurity. And it would be disastrous for a league that prides itself on creativity and excitement. A glimmer of hope emerged from the collegiate levels just when the NBA felt it had run out of options. But can the league's biggest showcase be saved by a single player? Caitlyn Clark isn't your typical athlete. She is changing the game's rules. Caitlyn Clark is chosen by the Indiana Fever. What does a collegiate athlete have to do with the difficulties faced by the NBA, you ask? Allow me to present Caitlyn Clark to you. You're missing out on one of the most fascinating tales in basketball right now if you haven't heard of her yet. Here's the worst part, though. She's doing more than just ruling the court. She is a multi-talented athlete who achieved success in the game of golf, and it was a huge success. She's not only a good girl. On the court, she is an absolute force. Everyone is in wonder as Clark breaks records one after another. The game isn't all she's doing. It's being reinvented by her. Magic occurs each time she's on the court. Simply to see her in action, arenas are selling out. More quickly than you can say three-pointer, her highlight reels are going viral. This is where things start to get interesting, though. More people are watching some of Clark's games than NBA games. Take a moment to process the information. It is collegiate basketball, not professional basketball, that we are discussing here. How insane is that? The entire basketball world seems to have completely changed. Naturally, we are aware that every game was sold out. The ratings were phenomenal, surpassing those of many NBA games. And here's the thing, Clark is more than just a basketball star. She is now a complete sensation. Are you aware of her size? Thousands of people are flocking to see her whack golf balls. Balls for golf, is it not unbelievable? Everything she touches seems to turn to gold. The NBA is obviously taking notice of the excitement and turnout. We need that magic, I think. However, is it possible for a collegiate athlete to salvage the All-Star Weekend? For years, the event has suffered and lost its flair. Is it possible to change things with just one talent? However, Adam Silver he is in a grave situation. Adam Silver is placing a wager on it. And he has a plan, I assure you. The NBA commissioner isn't merely waiting for things to work out. He is prepared to make a big impact, and Clark could be the secret weapon he has. I mean, Adam Silver deserves some recognition for genuinely trying and comprehending. It appears to have a greater grasp of the Caitlyn Clark phenomenon, star power, and potential than the WNBA. Consider it. What if they were able to bring to All-Star Weekend the thrilling energy and suspense that Caitlyn Clark infuses into every game? It would be enormous. There is no doubt about that. Caitlyn Clark is the center of attention. She's doing more than just altering basketball. She may be altering the course of the NBA's most important event. It's going to be an incredible show, regardless of whether you're a fan or a skeptic. Adam Silver will have to figure out how to obtain the largest commodity into this event in basketball, in all basketball. And if he wants people to watch, then it makes sense, and they will. Adam Silver will soon unleash a tsunami, but Caitlyn Clark is already making waves. Do you recall when All-Star Weekend consisted solely of a game and a few competitions? Those times are gone. Silver's most recent scheme is so bizarre that some are questioning if he is a complete genius or if he has gone insane. What could be more impressive than attracting college athletes? Adam Silver is starting from fresh and completely revamping the All-Star game, not just making little adjustments. Do you believe you've seen insane basketball concepts before? Just wait to find out what Silver has planned for 2025. It's a whole revolution, not only a small adjustment. And now Shams Charania, our senior insider, is here. What will be changing during the BEGS All-Star 2025? Malika, this is how it will operate according to what I've been informed as the NBA approaches a 4-team competition for the All-Star game in the Bay Area in February. A bracket-style 4-team battle will be played between the 3 teams, each of which will have 8 All-Stars and the Rising Stars game winner. Have you heard that? There will soon be a tournament with 4 teams, but not just any teams. Imagine 3 All-Star teams, plus wait for it, the Rising Stars group. Picture rookies and sophomores taking the court to compete against the best players in the league. To check if the newbies can keep up with the Sharks, it's like throwing them into the deep end. But wait, that's not even the most absurd aspect. For this year's All-Star Saturday night, Silver has a surprise in store that could go viral. Imagine the best shooter in NBA history, Steph Curry, competing with WNBA star and exceptional shooter Sabrina Ionescu. Another shooter who can light it up from anywhere on the court is Klay Thompson. And you guys, if it's a Splash Brothers vs. Splash Sisters rumor, you heard it directly from Sabrina, but it's not proven. And when you believe that things can't get any better, Adam Silver makes a shocking revelation. Yes, he is targeting the college sensation for a battle with the top players in the NBA, Caitlyn Clark. Imagine the excitement of a collegiate athlete competing against NBA stars. It has never been done before. And guess what? Just last week, Sabrina Ionescu may have given us a preview of how spectacular this may be. The problem is that it goes beyond Clark's abilities. Even though they are impressive, what matters is what she stands for. This intensity that has been absent from the All-Star game for years is brought by Clark when she takes the court. It's the desire to succeed, the drive to compete, and the need to prove yourself to others. Let's try to persuade folks to pay attention by adding chum to the water. They will do so. When was the last time you've seen such fervor during an All-Star game? Clark isn't there merely to fill out her highlight reel or go through the motions. She's there to win and prove that she's on par with the greatest. And that mindset, it spreads easily. Will it suffice? For years, the All-Star weekend has suffered players appear bored, excitement has faded, and viewership are down. Will things improve as a result of Clark and Silver's adjustments? Is it a desperate move by an out-of-touch league, or will players and fans embrace the new formats and fresh faces the NBA is betting on? In any case, if Caitlyn Clark is involved, it will be fascinating to see what she does to the ratings if this is made. They must take some action, you know. This whole weekend has turned into a humiliation. We will soon find out.